Hi guys, welcome once again to my channel, and thank you very much to all of you, my subscribers, my lovers. I appreciate you so very much. So today what I want to talk about is parenting advice versus what our children learn in school. And the reason I'm talking about this topic is because I see a lot of anomaly in our society these days, and I think back and I think I know that the reason why we have all of this anomaly in society can be traced back to the family, to the home. And I think that it is high time we begin to tell ourselves the truth. Parenting in a child's life is beyond just bringing the child forth and just providing for the child financially. It has the spiritual aspect, it has the emotional aspect, it has the so I think that when parents understand their role in their children's life, they begin to imbibe the right or invest the right time and the right attitude and the right culture into that child's life. One of the things that I know that my mother was very big about was being appreciative. No matter how little you are, my mother would insist that you must appreciate what anybody does for you, no matter how little it is. And she was very big. Whoa, she beats me. She was very big on honesty. No matter what the situation is, I'm saying he preferred to tell her the truth than to lie to her. So I'm saying that even in school, statistically, when I looked at it, I realized that children that have a good home front, like the relationship between the parents and the children is good, there's no trouble in the house and all of those things, they do better in school. Why? Because psychologically they are sound. They don't have problem. They don't have conflicting ideas in their head. They'll say it is when the child is at home and the mother says, oh, you must be honest, you must be truthful, you must be this and you must be that. Or the father says, I'm not talking about the mother here. I'm talking about the parents, both father and mother. And then the child gets to school and the teacher also says, you must be honest, you must be truthful, you must be appreciative, you must be this, you must be that. And then the child now goes between his friends, and then he or she is hearing otherwise. I think that it's just normal that the child would rather go with what the parents and the school and the teacher has said than what only the teacher says or what only the friend says. Now it also is when there is nothing from the house, from the home, and then the child gets to school and then the teacher says this and the friend says this, you leave the child in a confused state. The child is beginning to trying to, which one should I go with, which one makes more sense, which one is actually, do you understand? But when already the child knows that I can trust my parents' judgment, my parents want the best for me, they are always looking out for me, we talk, we dialogue, we have a good relationship, there's no problem. If I'm wrong, they correct you and let you know why they're correcting you. I think that parents, first of all, I just think that parents need to understand their role in the life of every child. Your role in the life of a child, you have the spiritual aspect, you have the physical aspect, yes, you have the financial aspect, nobody can dispute that. There's the financial aspect, there's the emotional aspect. You have to make sure that your child's emotion is intact. You don't bruise that child's ego. These are the things that give children confidence outside. Because if I'm at home, my parents don't appreciate the little things I do. They always talk me down, they always make me feel bad. The only time I get joy and I'm excited and I feel on top of the world is when I'm outside of the house. I would prefer to always be outside. And outside would teach that child and would influence that child and would let that child feel like, oh, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do, this is what you should tolerate. But already, if in the home, the mother or the father already says these things to this child, teaching this child rightly, by the time the child is outside, I always tell people that I'm not so much of a good girl today because, oh, I just want to be a good girl. No, but because from the home, we didn't have problem in the home. But so my father will tell you, whatever situation you have, you can bring it to the table for us to dialogue. We talk about situations, we talk about anything. To my father, you can take anything to his table and you talk about it. My mother was very big on, you must be honest. I'm not saying to be are any more best so my mother was saying to her, are any more best so I don't want you to be like this, I want you to be like this, I don't want you to be like. So when I'm outside, even if I am influenced by what's going on, I also know that I don't disappoint my father, I don't disappoint my mother, I don't want them to. Do you understand? So I think that a lot of things that we complain right now in our society has a lot to do with what the home front looks like. I have an aunt, she's super close to her children. Now, no matter what happens in school, the children get back home and gist the parents. Now, there's a very good relationship between the father and the mother. So they know that it's not as if you go and meet daddy, daddy will say this, and you go and meet mommy, mommy will say this. No, if you go and meet daddy, daddy says this, that's the same thing that mommy will say. Mommy will say, have you spoken to your daddy? What did your daddy say? Do you understand? Or let me talk to your daddy and I'll get back to you. That way, they have one voice. Now when the child gets back to school, the unintentionally, or whether it's intentionally, the teacher also has one voice with the parents, you know. So when his peers are trying to go otherwise, he's like, my father and my mother are saying this, and then when this child is saying this, you can know better than the both of them. I just think that parents, we need to pay a lot of attention to our children. There's something called the family social capital, and family social capital, I think, is the bond. I learned that is the bond that the parents share with the children. That's the openness, the trust, the, you know, the child knows that I can take anything to my daddy's table, I can take anything to my mother's table. The child, you know, when that part is very solid, I think that it will be very difficult for society to influence your children negatively otherwise, you know. So if you want the best out of your children, I think parents needs to deliberately invest your time in your child's life. I always say that I want to be my children's best friend. I want it, but I know also that my husband is also going to be their best, because I'm not going to marry just anyhow man. I'm just saying, you know, I just want to talk about this thing. I'm not a parent, I'm not a parent yet, but then I came from a home and I know how my parents were with us, and I know that all of my siblings, to the glory of God, we didn't turn out badly. So it means that they did something rightly, even if we felt like, oh, they were strict. It means that they did something rightly, and then every parent can also do this thing rightly, such that we have reduced nuisance in the society. Thank you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and please drop your comments.